This video is going to walk you through the Word Advanced Quiz Review questions, so the information you're going to need to answer those questions, as well as how to create or write an APA paper. Okay, so part of this video is really going to go through how to create and write an APA paper. But some of what I'm going to go over is actually going to be part of some of your quiz review questions. If you're one of my students, make sure you have the questions in front of you before you watch this video. And keep in mind, I don't always go in the exact order that the questions are in that document. All right, the first thing I want to do is set up the headers. So the easiest way to access the header is to simply double click. Now when you do that, you're going to see here we have header footer, insert, navigation, options, position, and close header footer. When you have APA, you need to have a different first page. And I'm going to show you why or how it's going to be different. So in APA, you're going to put in running head, space, just like this. And the name of this paper is going to be Word Advanced Quiz Review. So in capital letters, I'm going to type in Word Advanced Quiz Review, and then tab, and then 1. Now, if I scroll down, I'm going to close out of this for just a minute. Go space enter a few times, and then control enter so I have a second page. Now, on the second page and every subsequent page, it's just going to be, there's my header. This time I want to do page number, top of page, plain number 3, and now we're going to call this Word Advanced Quiz Review. Tab, just like that. That's how every subsequent page after the first cover page should look. And because we did add page number, this is going to change with each page number. And you'll notice that we could easily put a footer here, but that's not part of APA. Okay. Now let's go back to the first page. And I'm going to close out of my header footer. Scroll back up. Let's work on the cover page first. Before we go too far, let's go ahead and do Control A to select all. We want to make sure it shows as Times New Roman and 12. And then if I go right click, go into my paragraph dialog box, I want to make sure both of these say 0 and this says double. Okay, so far so good. Now if you don't have the ruler up, go into View and make sure you check that box for ruler. I'm going to go ahead and click on Home again. And we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. So the first line of your cover page should be the name of your paper. It doesn't have to be up here. It should only be a few words. It's just the first couple of words is fine. You don't have to go all the way across. But this should be the complete title. Next should be your name. So I'm going to put in my name. Next, you're going to put in the name of the course that you're writing this paper for. So let's say you're doing this for, we'll do Introduction to Computers, CGS 1000. Enter the name of your instructor. I'll just say Dr. John Smith. This is a fictional name. It's not meant to refer to anybody. It's just fiction. Enter, and then we're going to put in today's date. Enter. Now it's important to ask your instructor what other things that they want included on their APA cover page. This is what I teach for my classes. This is what I want. But the cover page, other than your name and the name of the paper, everything else is really up to the instructor as far as APA formatting is concerned. Now, let's say this was a multi-line title. For example, Microsoft Word Advanced Quiz Review, colon, a review of advanced skills for Word. In that case, if you have that colon and it would make it too long, you want to go ahead and make it that second line. So we're going to go ahead and call it this. And I'm just going to copy these two lines. And you'll notice that these are centered. Now I'm going to go down to my second page and go here and then Control V. Okay, there's my title. I'm going to enter it a few times and then do Control V again. I'm sorry, Control Enter again. Now I'm going to type in references. Actually, I'm not going to type in references because we're going to show you how to do a bibliography. But this third page is meant to be where I'm going to put my references. This is the last page. Now, a lot of you would start on an assignment and be like, you're staring at a blank page for like most of the time. And I was the same way when I was going through undergrad. Until somebody told me something very, very simple. If looking at a blank page is daunting, don't look at a blank page. Well, how do you not look at a blank page? You start with an outline. You create a very basic outline based off of your assignment. Well, part 1 is always going to be your introduction. Part 2 is going to be topic 1. Part 3 is topic 2. Part 4 is topic 3. And part 5 is going to be your conclusion. Now, for topics 1, 2, and 3, what you're going to do is you're going to take your assignment and you're going to break it down into 3 main parts. That's what these topics are. Okay, now each of these is going to be a section. And each of these sections is going to have at least one paragraph. And each paragraph is going to have approximately 5 sentences. By rule, it should be 4 to 6, but we're going to go on the average of 5. So here I'm going to click on Tab. This is going to be my first sentence. The first sentence of your introduction is going to be your attention grabber. And I'm going to go over this in a minute. Your next sentence is going to be, you're going to introduce topic 1. Then you're going to introduce topic 2. Introduce topic 3. And here you're going to segue to topic 1 by saying something that relates topic 3 with topic 1. Okay, now when you get into topic 1, again, you're going to have 5 sentences. Sentence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sentence 1 should talk about, now there is some discussion as far as some differences based off who your instructor is, as far as how these sentences should be put in order, but generally this first one is, what do you already know about the subject? Okay. Sentence 2 is going to be your thesis statement. Now a thesis statement is actually very, very easy. It's going to be your subject, so whatever, or your topic, and the why. Why is it important? Why are you talking about it? Why is it important? What makes it different, something like that. For example, if your topic was distracted driving, so distracted driving, I'll do an example here. So distracted driving is dangerous. Okay, well that's just your topic. Why is it dangerous? Because drivers of all ages continue to ignore local traffic laws to send and read text messages while driving. Okay, so this is your topic. Make that in red. This is your why. Now, these other sentences are basically you're going to find research to support the thesis. And then you're going to back that up again with one more sentence. And then this is going to be your segue to topic 2 by saying something about how topic 1 and topic 2 relate to each other. And essentially you can do the same thing with each of these topics. So if we copy this, Control C, enter, backspace, Control V. Only this one is going to be topic 3. And then in topic 3, backspace, Control V, how topic 3 segue to conclusion by saying something about topic 3 and topic 1 relate to one another. Now the conclusion is kind of like your introduction. So we're going to copy this. And instead of the attention grabber, you basically want a brief statement of how all 3 topics relate to each other. And instead of introducing the topic, you're basically going to summarize topic 1 based on the stated research in paragraph 2. Here you're going to summarize topic 2 based on the stated research in paragraph 3. And then summarize topic 3 based on the stated research in paragraph 4. And then this is going to be the only time you ever say, in my opinion, because at this point in your paper, your opinion is now based off of research that you've presented in your paper. So you could say, in my opinion, or you can say, it could be a final statement summarizing what was learned, or how research can move forward in this area. Okay, and then once you get all this written, you simply remove the outline. So for example, your introduction doesn't necessarily have to say introduction. So the attention grabber could be something along the lines of something that's, you don't necessarily have to quote, but something that would really grab their attention, but it's generalized enough that it could be considered public opinion or known knowledge. For example, George Washington was the first president of the United States. Something like that is already known. It's going to be stated in more than one document, more than one book. So this is just a very generalized statement that we're going to be backing up throughout this paper. So that's going to be your attention grabber. Now, let's say my first topic that I'm going to introduce is going to have to be about the main offenders of distracted driving may be teenagers, but they are not the only ones still texting and driving. Still driving while distracted. Now, distracted driving isn't just about texting. So we can say something about what distracted driving is. Includes driving while texting, talking on the phone, eating, putting on makeup, are just a few examples. And what kind of costs are there? The costs of distracted driving include loss of life, loss of property, loss of lives of others, and the cost and the emotional cost of being on either end of an accident caused by distracted driving. And then I'm going to do segue something in topic 1 that relates to topic 3 with topic 1. I'm not going to get too far into this because I want to continue with this video. So these are my 3 main topics I'm going to talk about. Now I'm just going to put these into paragraph form. And now topic 1, I've already basically said what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the who those distracted drivers. And then you're going to state something you already know about the subject and so on. And then topic 2 had to do with types of distracted driving. Forms of distracted driving. So forms of distracted driving. And then this last one was the cost of distracted driving. Okay, that's really all you need to do to set up your paper. Now, what this does is that it ensures that you've covered all the main points for your paper, because you have the main points separated into 3 main topics, so you know you're going to cover those. And by setting up your introduction like I did, and then your conclusion, you're going to have a really strong introduction and conclusion. And as an instructor, I'm going to give everybody listening to this video a secret. From an instructor point of view, when I have to grade papers, if you think I'm going to read every single word, there's no way to read every single word of every single paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read through the introduction. I'm going to scan the paper for in-text citations and make sure each paragraph has a thesis, and it looks like there's pretty much everything there. And then I'm going to read through the conclusion. Oh, and in-text citations, I'm going to scan each paragraph for an in-text citation. I'm going to read through the conclusion. If the conclusion supports or backs up with the introduction, and I see the in-text citations, and then I scroll through the references, and the references all have in-text citations, I'm going to give it an A, because chances are they've met all the criteria for this assignment. If, however, all I see are 2 3-sentence paragraphs, if that, 2-sentence introduction, a 2 or 3-sentence conclusion, I'm going to have to read through every single word. I'm going to find a lot of mistakes. So you're going to be lucky to get a C. So there's the secret to writing a paper that's always going to do well. Make sure you spend the time, have a solid introduction and a solid conclusion. Include your in-text citations from your online library, not just the internet, not Wiki. You don't ever want to use Wiki, although you can use Wiki to get an idea. If you have no idea what you're writing about, you can use Wiki to get a general idea. But that's how you start up your paper, so you're no longer looking at a blank page. Okay, now I talked briefly about in-text citations. So as we do these, we want to create, as we start writing our sentences, we want to create in-text citations here. And these 2 sentences could be the same reference, and that's fine. So let's say we type something out based off what we found in the library. We can go into references and go into manage sources. And I'm going to make up some of this information just so we have it. And you'll notice I don't have any sources in my master list yet. So I'm going to click on new. Now the type of source I'm going to use is a journal article. And the author, I'll just say Smith. If you're not sure how to format it, we can go into edit. Here we have Smith, John L, and I'll add. And I'll get rid of this, delete, and then OK. That's the name of our author. The name of the title is going to be Distracted Driving Today. The name of the journal is, I don't know, Parenting Journal. Now you'll notice that when I wrote the title, the only thing that's capitalized is this first letter. All these others should be little. But the journal name is the first letter of each word. This was done in 2016. Page, let's say it was 45 to 60. We want to show more fields, so I'm going to click on this box. And we want to include the volume and the issue number. So let's say it was volume 4, issue 3. And let's say I retrieved it from ProQuest database. Or if you have a DOI number, you're going to use a DOI number. But if you just pulled it from one particular database, you just want to list the database. And then I'm going to go ahead and do OK. All right, so now I'm going to click on Close. And now I want to do the in-text citation. I've added my source. Now I want to add the in-text citation here. So now I'm going to go up into, you'll notice my style is already set to APA. Manage sources. I've already used it. And then close. So I'm going to click on Insert Citation. And it inserted Smith, comma, and then the year, which is correct. So once you've created the source, I like to as I'm writing, I'll put my sources in here as I'm writing and just go ahead and add the in-text citation along with it. But let's say you don't really want to spend the time right now to put in all the information. I'm going to go ahead and do New, and I'm going to say Journal Article, and I'll just say Jones for now. Jones and Gilmore, and then OK. I've saved the article to my desktop. I know where I'm going to find it. And you'll see the check mark. That means it's already been used. I'm going to click on here and then close. And I'm going to put that here. I'm going to put in insert citation, and I'm going to put in this basically as a placeholder. Okay, so I just deleted that. If I go over here, I can do insert citation. I want to do insert new placeholder. I'm just going to put in placeholder 1, or I could put in the name of the author that I have up there. Because that tells me I have to go back and find the rest of the information. Oops, cancel. Go back into Manage Sources. Gilmore. Edit. Tag name is JON. Jones. And then OK. Yes. Okay, now if I go here, insert citation, add new placeholder, Jones. And then OK. So that just shows as a placeholder. Now if I go back into Manage Sources, it shows that Jones is a placeholder. So so I can get rid of this. And then close. So this is something I have to go back and fix when I'm done. Alright, so the Source Manager dialog box allows you to permanently delete sources. However, you cannot delete the types of sources. If I do Manage Sources, let me add one more. I'll do New, Journal, I'll do Book, A. Austen, Jane, Pride and Prejudice, N-A, and then do OK. So you see here we have the question mark that shows that it's a placeholder source. Then we have this with nothing next to it, which means we have not used it yet. And we have this here that has a check mark that shows that it is a cited source. Now we can delete it from our current list, but it'll still be in our master list. You might use this master list as you're doing papers in your main field. For example, if you're medical, so if you're doing papers in your medical classes, you might want to add those sources that you use a lot of, like your textbook. You might want to add to your master list. And this way, if you want to go back and use them as a resource later, you don't have to go and try and re-find all that information all over again. You can just kind of move this over, just copy it over, and then it's right here. For right now, I'm just going to go ahead and delete it. But it's still in my master list. And then close. So the Source Manager dialog box allows us to permanently delete sources, but you can't delete sources that have that check mark next to it, which means it's a cited source already. To delete the bibliography in our document, so let's go ahead and add a bibliography first. So here I am at References, and I want to do Bibliography, and I want to do References because that's the one that's APA. So here's References. And of course, I need to correct this. Home Times New Roman. This should be 12. It should be black. And it should be centered. Oops, Control Z. See that this is coming up as a header 1, so I need to correct this. And I'm going to select it all so it's double space. Paragraph. Double. OK. Select my references. Update. Update heading 1 to match selection. Okay, and inserted the one that I did use. The other one, again, is just a placeholder, and it won't go in there until we actually update it, and then we update this. Now, let's say we want to remove our bibliography or our references. If we click on here, we can click on, oops, right click, left click, right click, delete. So we can click on the bibliography in the document, then click on the 3 dots at the top left to select the entire bibliography, and then click on the delete key on the keyboard. Now, let's go ahead and undo that. And we'll go back up to here, and we'll add another source. So I'm going to go into References, Manage Sources, and I'm going to do a new journal article. Author Ames, James. Again, this is just a fictional person, fictional journal, fictional journal article. I'm just making these up. Texting and driving among youth today. And again, we'll use parenting journal today. show all fields, 2016, pages, say 40 to 51. Volume number is 2, issue number is 5. Oops. URL, again, we'll do ProQuest database, and then OK. So now we have another article here, and I'm going to go ahead and add it to my current list. All right, so it's in my current list. Now I'm going to click on Close, and then Insert Citation, and here's the one we just did. And now I'm going to scroll back down. If I go here, just left click and this should show up. I want to update citations and bibliography, and it's automatically added the second article based off of the last name because it has to be in alphabetical order. The Source Manager allows us to search, sort, copy, edit, create, and delete resources. But again, we can only delete that resource if it hasn't been used in our article. To copy a source from the master list into our current document source list, I've demonstrated that. You want to open up the Source Manager, select a new button. Open the Source Manager, select a source in the master list, which is over here, and then select the copy button so it moves over to current list. Adding a new source using the Source Manager is not going to automatically insert the citation into the document. All it's going to do is add it to the master list or the current list. You still have to click on Insert Citation in order to add it into that specific location into the document. I showed how to add a new source using the Source Manager. There are several methods for editing a resource in your document, including you can click on the citation in the document with the right mouse click button, and in the shortcut menu, click on Edit Source. You can click on the pull-down arrow next to the selected citation in the document in the menu, select Edit Source, or you could even select Manage Sources command, and with the source selected in the Source Manager dialog box, click on the Edit button. So there are multiple ways to edit a source in your document. In the Source Manager dialog box, a placeholder in the current source list is identified by the question mark, and we've seen that with this. This right now is marked as a placeholder. There are several methods for editing a citation in your document. You can click on the citation in the document with the right mouse click button, and in the shortcut menu, click on Edit Citation, or you can click on the citation to select it, and then select the pull-down arrow in the menu, select the Edit Citation option. Alright, the Edit Citation command does allow us to define the citation information that's displayed in the document. For example, you can display your pages, author, year, and title. There's a thing that we call endnotes. While we don't use it in APA, endnotes are sometimes used in research papers. Endnotes can be converted to footnotes. So the difference between an endnote and a footnote, I'm going to go ahead and do one just to show you. So if we do insert, right here, insert footnote. So I'm going to do footnote here. I'll just click back in the document. Then I'm going to insert an endnote. Endnote here. You'll notice that the endnote goes at the end of the document, whereas a footnote goes at the end of the page where it's referred to. See, here's our footnote, and you'll see it was referred to right here. There we go. Deleting a footnote or endnote reference mark in a document does not only delete the reference mark, deleting a footnote or endnote reference mark in a document does not delete the reference mark. Actually, it deletes the reference mark, but it also deletes the actual footnote or endnote. So if you delete it in one place, it deletes it in both places. MLA 7th edition is just one example of a bibliography style, just like APA is another example of a bibliography style, just like Chicago is another bibliography style. These are all different bibliography styles that are used. Bibliography styles can be found on the References tab in the Citation and Bibliography group. So I don't necessarily have to click on APA. Depending on what style I want to use, I can do Chicago. I can use any one of these. There's MLA, there's Terabin, and so on. Gone over all those. Citation placeholders allow you to mark positions in your document for citations without stopping to create and insert new citations. But again, you want to leave enough information so you can go back and easily add to that when you're getting ready to wrap up your paper. Footnotes and endnotes can be used to explain information in more detail, add opinions or comments, or to even cite sources in a document. Again, footnotes and endnotes are not used in APA. Endnotes in a document are not automatically positioned at the bottom of the page where the endnote reference is inserted. It is not automatically positioned. The default position of a footnote can be changed to display text instead of at the bottom of the page. A document can contain either footnotes or endnotes, or both. There are different methods to move from footnote to footnote or endnote to endnote in a document. You can use the go-to command, you can use the find command, you can even use the use next footnote or use next endnote command on the reference tab in the footnote group. Okay, and this is going to conclude our review for this quiz. And you'll see that I have 4 pages already, and I really haven't written anything. Most of this is just the introduction and then the outline of the rest of the paper. So we will end right here.